Perfect. 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 Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's time.
Hey, yo, what is going on, everybody? We are live here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. After being gone for a week, I am officially back here in the chair once again, live for you guys once again. I hope you all are having a good week. Literally, the summer is practically over in 2 days. It's practically over. But what's going on, everyone? Let me fix this real quick. There you go. What's up, everybody? Hope all you all are doing well. How's your week been? Oh wait. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing good. I am back. It's been a minute. I know. If you didn't know where I was in Europe. I was in Portugal. Then I went to Spain. It was my cousin's wedding, and I had a good time. I really, really did. Man, honestly, mentally, I am still in Madrid. I am not going to lie to you. But nevertheless, I do hope to return one day. That is the plan. It's funny enough, me and the cousins are already talking about a trip to Europe in 2026. But I know you guys don't care about any of that. This is your very, very late, and I mean very late, honest review of AEW New Japan 2025 Forbidden Door. If you are once again new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video, stream, whatever you want to call it, a big old thumbs up. Let us know if you're watching this live or maybe you're watching on the playback. If you're watching on the playback, let me know as well. But again, this is your AEW New Japan Forbidden Door 2025 review. Late, honest review.
Oh, wow, that's a fitting name for all the virgins out there, the Forbidden Door, because that's the one thing they'll never see.
Well, I had to do it. I had to. Look, I did not get to catch this show live like everyone else did. I know there were two shows happening on that Sunday. It was Forbidden Door and also Heat Wave. I did not watch Heat Wave yet. I did not watch it yet. I was told by a lot of people that Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace had a good match. And Obafemi and Javon Evans had a good match too. So I'm going to go out of my way sometime this weekend and rewatch those matches. Hell, I didn't even get to watch Dynamite. That's crazy, right? I know Dynamite this past Wednesday was at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, and I didn't get to watch the show either. I literally had it on and I fell asleep. Again, I flew back from Europe on Wednesday. So you got to understand, like my body, mental, all that stuff, I was still stuck on European time zone. So I literally flew back around 10:30 in the morning in European time. So basically here in the States, it was pretty much like what? If it was 10:30 in the morning in Europe, it was practically 5:30 in the morning in the US. So when I landed at 1:30 p.m. US time. It's like I basically missed a day. So I wasn't really able to. When I got home, I literally did was do some stuff that I had to do. And then I hit the bed and I knocked the fuck out. I didn't wake up till 3 in the morning. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I'll catch Dynamite when I can. But I did catch AEW Forbidden Door, New Japan also, and all that stuff. And this was a collaboration between AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and CMLL. Now, For those of you who don't remember, I actually attended the first Forbidden Door. I attended the first Forbidden Door in Chicago. Funny enough, this clip.
Oh, wow, that's a fitting name for all the virgins out there, the Forbidden Door, because that's the one thing they'll never see.
Well, is where it originated from. Is where it originated from, all the way back in 2022. So 3 years ago, basically, from Chase Covington. I hope he's doing well, I must say. But let me know your thoughts in the chat or in the comments. Your thoughts on the show. What did you like? What did you not like from Forbidden Door 2025? Overall, I thought the show, it was all right. To be honest with you, I thought overall it was an all right show. What is going on, Universal? I hope all is well with you, brother. But for me, overall, I thought the show was a solid show for the most part. Yes, you did have your good wrestling and all that stuff, but I'll be honest, and I said this in the preview on the Wednesday before I took off to Europe. It doesn't really feel like Forbidden Door. It doesn't. If you go back to the Forbidden Door, and again, I hate that I keep on saying this. If you go back to the Forbidden Door that I attended in Chicago in 2022, that was Forbidden Door. You had, and at that event, you had matches that you were like wanting to see for a long time, right? New Japan talent go up against AEW talent. One-on-one. Who wins, right? And that was exciting. Here, factor in what 3 years later, right? It just, there's some stuff that was missing for my liking. Yes, you featured like one or two people from CMLL because again, you are also partnered with CMLL, right? But it just didn't have that Forbidden Door-esque, if you get what I'm saying. Granted, it was in London. So that crowd in London ate this up like this was the most amazing thing. And that's the thing too, as well. Like, just keep that in mind. A lot of the people that are in the UK, they crap on us. They shit on us when it comes to fandom. They do. 100%. They will eat this up because again, they don't get these shows live like we do on a constant base here in the States. So whenever WWE or New Japan or AEW go over to the UK, it's like, yo, the greatest thing of all time. And they enjoyed themselves, as I expect. But for me, it just didn't have that Forbidden Door-esque vibe like back in the day. For me, at least. I don't know how about you guys out there. There's some matches that I questioned, but outside of that, I thought the show, for the most part, was a solid show. Read some comments here. This is from Universal. This is not what the Forbidden Door is, but this is what you want to but that is what you want to believe. Hey, it's 2025. Forbidden Door to me was a 2-match show. That's fair enough. I mean, you have a right to your opinion. Heat Wave was a bad show. I did not get to watch Heat Wave. I literally got back to the States this past Wednesday, and I'm going at this one show at a time. One show at a time. If this was me in 2014, oh, brother, I would have been watch all these shows in one day. Nah, brother, I can't do that no more. Can't. Just fucking can't. MJF's match, in my opinion, was the top 5 match of AEW. From a wrestling standpoint, yes. It was a good match from a wrestling standpoint. I'll get into it in a little bit. I'll get into it when I get to the match. Okay. But look, I know there was a 0 hour, which I did not get to watch. Again, I was at my cousin's wedding in Portugal. So this show was going live as the wedding was happening. All right. But I did, again, catch up everything again on replay when I got back to the States. I was trying to watch it on the plane. Like I was trying to download the show on the plane, so I can watch it on the plane basically, right? And for whatever reason, the airline, the Wi-Fi on the airline did not allow video streaming, which was kind of ridiculous, but hey, it is what it is. I got to watch it once I got home. This match was about, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches on the main card, and then whatever you got of the 0 hour. Which you guys know here, we don't watch 0 hour. I'm good. But we kicked the show off with Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus the matriarchy. That's what they're calling them now. Of Killswitch, Luchasaurus, okay, and Kip Sabian, bro. To think, Adam Copeland could have been part of the John Cena retirement tour, but here he is wrestling Kip Sabian and fucking Luchasaurus. The fuck are we doing? Look, the crowd ate this up. The crowd were singing along to Adam Copeland's theme song. I'm sorry, to me, he's Edge. I'm going to call him Edge, okay? If you have a problem with it, fuck off. They're singing his song, right? And that's cool to see. Like, look, for nostalgia, right? Because again, Edge and Christian were part of my childhood, right? They were a big part of my childhood, along with the Dudley Boys, along with the Hardy Boys. A big part of my childhood. So for nostalgia, it was cool, right? His entrance is always going to be must see, because especially when they go international, because that crowd will eat it up. And then the bell rang. This match, literally, in my opinion, should have not opened the show. In my opinion, this felt like a match I could have easily seen on Dynamite. I feel like, honestly, they rushed this reunion of Edge and Christian, Cope and Christian Cage, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I personally felt like it was very, very rushed. They should have done this in Toronto, in my opinion. But hey, it is what it is. We're here now. We're fucking here. And yes, Adam Copeland, Edge, and Christian did pick up the W here. The match went about 13 minutes and 14 seconds. The Wrestling Observer, that being Uncle Dave, gave this 3.5 stars, which, I think he's being very generous, but that's just me, of course, in my humble opinion. Let me know your thoughts on it. But I just feel, again, he's being, como se dice, very, very generous with that one. From there, we go on to Kyle Fletcher versus Hiromu Takahashi for the TNT Championship. It's funny enough, I said earlier, this did not feel like Forbidden Door-esque, and there will be that one person in the comment, one person replying, "Oh, but this was here. Here was Forbidden Door like. Here we had New Japan talent versus AEW talent. What are you talking about, Steve?" Again, people will say that. And yes, I thought this was a very, very good match. In my opinion, this match should have opened the show. This should have been your opening match. You kick the show off with a banger, as the kids say, right? Or what do they call it? A real graps, whatever the fuck that means. You kick the show off with this. Hiromu Takahashi turned back the clock. It's like I was watching 2017 New Japan Hiromu Takahashi in this match. Dude was playing the hits. And I'll say this too, Kyle Fletcher has really, really in the last couple of months, say a year or so, he's gotten better. And I love to see that. Yes, pairing up with the Don Callis family, he's the TNT champion. Should he have wanted at all in, for according to a lot of people? That's up for debate. Okay, you have a right to that opinion. If he should have won at that event, I know there's still some people who still don't forgive him for injuring Adam Cole It is what it is. I think the guy is talented when the bell rings. And again, to me, this should have been the match that opened the show. But again, Edge is going to edge, you know? So that being said, yes, Kyle Fletcher did get the W here. Dave Meltzer gave this 4.5 stars. 4.5, you know? Um, I loved Adam's entrance. It's must see. There you go, Universal. What's going on, Howard? Hope all is well with you. Unfortunately, I did not like this match. It was a botch fest. That's who. I'm sure you referred to Cope versus my bad, Edge and Christian versus Kill Switch and Kip Sabian. It's crazy to think too, bro. Kip Sabian has made the bag for a good chunk of his run in AEW by standing there with a box over his head. Fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. From there, we did see the fatal four-way match. We had Mercedes Moné versus Alex Windsor versus Bozilla versus Persephone. Persephone representing CMLL. Bozilla representing Stardom. They kept reminding you how young she is in her wrestling career. And of course, Alex Windsor. And of course, if you were to guess, if you guessed correctly, yes, Mercedes Moné did get the grand old entrance, right? The grand old entrance, right? For the most part. And I'll be honest with you, man. Like, what else did you expect? Like, seriously, what else did you expect from this match? You knew going into this. Like, think about this, right? Were you really going to have Alex Windsor walk out with the TBS title? No. Are you going to give it to Bozilla, who has a lot of potential? A lot and lots of potential. But no, that wasn't going to happen either. Persephone, you know, I know she did call out Mercedes to run it back in Mexico. I know there's like a video online or something like that, and maybe that happens. We'll see. Maybe at the 92nd Anniversario show. Could possibly be. But going into this, you know, I'll be honest, you know, you had Mercedes Moné representing herself, Alex Windsor representing AEW, even though Mercedes Moné is also part of AEW. Whatever. You had Bozilla representing Stardom. You had Persephone representing CMLL. We couldn't get a Ring of Honor representation here. We couldn't get Deonna Purrazzo on this show. I'm just saying, look, I'm always going to be very pro Deonna Purrazzo because, again, I'm from Jersey. She's also from Jersey, so I'm always going to, you know, defend my Jersey wrestlers. I will always do that. And I know how good she is. You know, I've said this for a while. It's a shame how she went from, you know, being a champion, this great champion in Impact Wrestling, TNA, to now barely even seen. And I guess to my understanding, she will be part of the she'll be part of the, I guess, the pure women's title tournament in Ring of Honor, aka Paywall of Honor. And everyone knows when it comes to Ring of Honor, you know, no one's watching that. No one's watching Paywall of Honor. I know they have a pay-per-view tonight. I know they have a pay-per-view tonight, but no one's watching it. No one is, you know. But at the end of the day, look, this match itself, it was fine for what it was. Dave Meltzer gave this 3.25. Mercedes Moné did pick up the win after she rolled up Persephone. So there you go with that. I was not surprised by that one. From there, we went on to the IWGP World Championship match. Zack Sabre Jr. and Nigel McGuinness. Look, for the UK, they ate this up because it's that UK and UK crime, right? They ate this up. It was a fun match for the most part, a good old back and forth, right? You had Daniel Garcia, who was in the corner of Nigel McGuinness for this match too, and you could just see the look on Daniel's face as he was walking down to the ring with Nigel. He looked deflated. He looked like, damn, bro, I feel like I made the biggest mistake. I really feel like I made the biggest mistake by doing this. Like, what am I doing here? You know, it's bad enough I'm not even on the show, but here I am now. Like, I'm in this. I'm in the corner of Nigel, right? Ugh. But the match itself, for what it was a good back and forth. You know, UK versus UK clash, and the crowd ate this up. You know what I mean? And again, to see Nigel, considering where he was a couple of years ago, because I did see that documentary many years ago. I don't know how many of you have the Nigel McGuinness documentary that he did back in like 2012, where he was on a retirement tour, and it was very depressing to watch. To see him now, granted, he did have that job in WWE as a commentator. Then he went to AEW doing commentary, but then he got to wrestle, right? He got to wrestle at All In Wembley. From there, he got to wrestle Bryan Danielson at Grand Slam, which I got to see right in New York. Those guys went to war in New York back in the day. To see him like have these matches here and there on Collision and stuff like that, and to see him here in London in the O2 Arena, his music is playing, he's getting this big ovation, and you're wondering, right? And they tease you like, hey, does he have it in him to defeat Zack Sabre Jr., who is the current reigning and defending IWGP World Champion? And of course, as you expect, Zack Sabre Jr., after 17 minutes into the match, did pick up the W. But nevertheless, I thought it was a very good showing, and the crowd in the UK ate this up. From there, we go on to Brodito of Bandito and Brody King versus FTR versus the Hurt Syndicate. You know, they hurt people. This match, look, you want to know what killed it for me? The ending. The fucking ending of this match killed it for me. So there's a moment in this match where I think, so I think it was Bandito who I guess hit his finisher or something, and he went to pin Dax Harwood. He's pinning him. And the referee, I guess, has to get in position. And I see Cash Wheeler literally run, stop, run again to break the pin, and he doesn't break the pin. He's right there. It just felt very flat near the end. But nevertheless, Tony Khan has this thing for Brody King and Bandito. By the way, Bandito, who is also the Ring of Honor World Champion, who will be defending the title tonight against Hechicero. So right now he's a double champion. Overall, look, this match, again, it was going great for the most part, and then that ending happened, and it just, ruined it for me. It fucking ruined it. But Brodito are the new tag team champions. Look, the Hurt Syndicate, depending who you listen to, did not want to drop those titles to FTR. That's fine, but you can drop it to Brodito. My bold prediction here is Brodito will hold those titles for a couple of weeks, and then they'll drop the titles to FTR. It will get FTR versus Cope or Edge and Christian at All Out in Toronto. That's my bold prediction. So I think we'll get that match in Toronto for the tag titles, and we'll see how that goes. From there, we go on, but the match itself went about 60 minutes. Dave Meltzer gave this a 4-star. Brother, I have no idea what he's on, but please send him my way, Dave. Send him my fucking way. From there, we go on to Kazuchika Okada versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW Unified title. And overall, look, going into this, it wasn't a bad match. Like, it was not a bad match. There was reports going around that, Swerve Swerve does have an injury, so he's wrestling hurt here. I really do believe if they run it back, they'll have a better match. This wasn't this wasn't the Okada that wrestled Kenny Omega at All In. This was an Okada who just played the hits. And I'll be honest too, I hate this Okada theme song. I fucking hate it. It sucks. You want to know what sucks too? I'm going to say it right now. Bryan Danielson on commentary sucks. Great wrestler. I know for a lot of you, Bryan Danielson is your GOAT. And I said this a couple of weeks ago on Steve's Kitchen. For a lot of you, Bryan Danielson can do no wrong. But on commentary, he is the bleeding fucking shits. Never again. AEW. I know you love Bryan. I know Tony Khan did say a couple of years ago, if something were to happen to him, he'll give AEW to Bryan Danielson. But no, I do not need to hear this guy on fucking commentary. I'm good. I am fucking good. And as I'm saying this right now, I know a lot of the sickos right now.
It sounds like all those people booing right now got a lot of tears coming down their eyes. I see you guys with watery eyes right now.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. But the match itself, look, it was fun for what it was. Okada, was just, out there playing the hits, right? But when it was all said and done, Kazuchika Okada did pick up the W. The ending was kind of flat, though, I will say. Hits the Rainmaker, and that was it. And then they proceed to attack Swerve with a steel chair. And then after this, we had the return of Wardlow. Wardlow comes out, and he lays out Prince Nana, attacks Swerve, right? And it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, it's cool to see Wardlow back, but we put him right back in a faction. It's funny because me and the boys, we're talking about Wardlow and I'm sure you guys seen on social media from these news sites, Wardlow's about to return. Wardlow's doing this. Wardlow's doing American Gladiators. Wardlow is he's almost ready to come back. For a while, we've been saying I hope he's ready to learn Don Callis. Funny enough, here he is, a part of the Don Callis family. You'll love to see it. And you would think, hey, look, I didn't watch Dynamite. But for the people that I know who did, hey, you expect to see Wardlow on Dynamite, right? Nope. Wasn't even on Dynamite. Not one fucking appearance. Hey, maybe he'll be on Collision. Well,
Hashtag AEW Collision. Saturday. Ain't nobody watching that. Come on.
Nobody watching that. But Okada does retain. Swerve is going to go away. I think, yeah, he had knee surgery done, so he's on the road to recovery. But yeah, man, again, the match itself, for the most part, it was a fun match. From there, we go to Toni Storm versus Athena. By the way, Dave Meltzer gave Okada and Swerve 4 1/4. Seems fair. From there, we go on to Timeless Toni Storm versus Athena for the AEW Women's World Championship. He gave this match 3 3/4. The match was about 15 minutes and 16 seconds. As far as a women's wrestling match is concerned, it wasn't a bad match. I just hate the way we made Athena look like a chump. That's it. Like, I hate that. You built Athena. Look, for a while, right? People have been wanting to see Athena on AEW television, right? You finally got it. She's been holding on to this Ring of Honor Women's World Championship for a hot minute, right? She's like the forever champion, right? She is right now the forever champion. And it's like, yeah, you're finally bringing her to AEW television, right? She's finally here. And it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, you look forward to seeing her because you were happy as fuck to see her win the Casino Gauntlet, right? You were happy to see it right? So you wonder now, okay, are we finally going to put the belt on her? Are they going to finally make her champion? Nope. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Yes, Billy Stark did get involved in some point in the match. But when it was all said and done, LOL, Tony Storm wins. Another thing I want to say. What was the point of Mercedes Moné losing? Because you would have thought, hey, she lost it all in, right? She lost it all in. And you thought, hey, there will be some character development, right? We'd see Mercedes go on this down this path of, mental breakdown, right? You lost the biggest match, right? In your AEW run so far, right? At the biggest show of the year for AEW, right? Against one of the best women's performer that the company has, right? And you lose and you don't capture the most important title for that women's division in AEW. But instead of doing that, what do? They have Mercedes act like nothing happened. Everything's A-okay. But then you proceed by having her win more of these Mickey Mouse championship that no one gives a fuck about. What are we doing? The fuck is this? It's bullshit. Fucking bullshit. But when it was all said and done, Tony Storm did pick up the win. My question now is, who's next for Tony Storm? Now what do we do? Where do we go from here? That's my question. For Athena, she's not even wrestling on the show tonight, by the way, on Death Before Dishonor, as far as I know. But hey, I guess for her, it's back to Paywall of Honor. Yay! From there, we go to MJF and Adam Page for the world title in a match where if Adam Page were to get himself disqualified or counted out, the title will change hands and go to MJF. I want you to remember that. That was the stipulation going into this match. The title could change hands on a disqualification and a count out. And MJF did not need to cash in his contract like Athena did in the match prior. Look, the match itself was a very good match from a wrestling wise. These two guys, they can't have a bad match. Okay? They can't. However, the stipulation made this look so fucking stupid. There's a moment where MJF gets put through a table and the referee doesn't call for disqualification. There's a moment in the match where Hangman drops MJF on the broken table head first. That's a weapon, right? As far as I know. And the referee, Bryce Remsburg, who's a fucking idiot. Just like the other bald fuck who referees for AEW. Another fucking idiot. Just let everything just happen. Don't call for the bell. And then there's a moment in the match where Hangman Page hits MJF head first into an exposed turnbuckle. And this fucking idiot, the referee, lets it pass, lets it happen. Don't call for the bell, even though MJF got hit with a weapon, because that exposed turnbuckle is a weapon after all. Nope, nothing. Fucking nothing. There's a moment where this I found hilarious. MJF hits Hangman with the contract. Hits him with the contract. Right? Hits him with the contract. Yes, Mark Briscoe did get involved in some way, shape, or form too, right? But MJF hits Hangman with the contract. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Mind you, the referee is seeing this. right? But he had to pretend like he didn't see it. But even though he did see Hangman's foot on the bottom rope, counts to 3, pretends like he didn't see it at all. MJF is celebrating like he won the title, even though he's been hit by weapons in this match in front of the referee. And then the referee, 5 seconds later, I see the foot on the bottom rope. The match continues. And then obviously Hangman Page hits the buckshot lariat for the 1, 2, 3. Again, it was a good match. These two guys cannot have a bad match. Just the stipulation handicapped them. Made them look so fucking stupid. And to the point now where I guess Tony Khan announced that going forward, whenever you win the casino gauntlet at All In, you have to notify a week in advance for the person to cash in their contract, which takes the fun away. You know, the fun of the Money in the Bank in WWE is the person who wins the briefcase, they can cash in whenever they want, right? So like at SummerSlam, right, when Rollins cashed in on CM Punk after SummerSlam, right, that reaction, like, oh man, you were waiting for it too. Like it was kind of predictable, but you were waiting for it. Or like when Naomi cashed in at Evolution, right? You did not expect it to happen, but when it did, you popped. Even though Rhea Ripley and Io Sky were having a banger, but then Naomi cashed in. Again, you didn't see it happen. You did not see it happening. You did not see it coming. But when it did, wow, holy shit. And again, I can understand maybe Tony Khan doesn't want to come off like WWE-esque, but you're taking the fun of that contract. And then factor in both the people who won this casino gauntlet both lost when they cashed in their contracts. You made your winners look like fucking chumps at the end of the day. Likely they will run this back. I will say probably Full Gear. They will run it back. Because if you notice at the end of it, MJF was hugging his contract. Because remember, MJF was originally supposed to cash in his contract. But then he got MJF, but then MJF got Hangman to say, no, in this match, I am not cashing in, and Hangman agreed. So they'll run this back, I believe, sometime at Full Gear, if I'm to guess here. Maybe at All Out, which I think is too soon. But something tells me Full Gear is when they do it. And then we get the main event. By the way, Dave gave this match 4 3/4. Seems fair, but that ending, the stipulation itself was ugh. And then we got the main event. The lights out steel cage match. Basically it was the Death Riders, right? You had obviously Darby Allin. You had the Golden Lovers of Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi. You had Hiroshi Tanahashi, who had no business being in this match at all. But hey, it's Tanahashi. It's his last match in the UK, by the way. Who, by the way, is part of a retirement tour, but this is his last match in the UK. So let's put him in this steel cage match where he can barely move. Him walking down the ramp. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. When I saw Tanahashi walk down that ramp, all I can think was dead ass. That's all I could think about. And of course, they went up against, and of course, with Will Ospreay against the team of the Death Riders of Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley. They had Gabe Kidd. They had the Young Bucks of Matt and Nick Jackson. And look, there's that representation, right? There's that Forbidden Door-esque, right? You had Tanahashi in this match. You had Gabe Kidd, right? You had Kota Ibushi, even though Kota Ibushi isn't signed to New Japan, right? Will Ospreay, who did confirm that he will be going away after this match because he's going to get surgery done and all that stuff. And I thought the match for what it was, as far as the train wreck goes, as far as a train wreck goes, it was fun. A fun train wreck. Okay. Yes, there was blood, right? There was blood because there had to be blood here, right? Um, there was that spot where Moxley grabbed a fork and started stabbing Darby Allin's ear, which looked like just a sick visual. And again, it's sad because that's what AEW has to do to get people to talk about AEW. That's what they got to do just so they can get the headlines and talks on the internet, which is kind of sad when you think about it. But yeah, seeing Tanahashi in this match, I cringed. I really, really did. Because he did not need to be in this match. You mean to tell me we could have not done, like, look, I get it. It's his retirement tour. He's friends with Will Ospreay. But you mean to tell me you mean to tell me you mean to tell me that, hey, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we should do Tanahashi versus someone on the roster. You couldn't have done that? Did you really have to put him in this fucking lights out steel cage match? You fucked him. You fucked him. What are we doing? Why? It's cringe. Dude could barely walk. And you put him in this fucking cage match? Granted, he didn't do much, but still, just seeing him in there and just moving around, just But when it was all said and done, obviously, Darby, the Golden Lovers, Will Ospreay, Tanahashi, they pick up the win over the Death Riders and Gabe Kidd and the Young Bucks and all that stuff. And what happened post match though? What they were trying to do, and I thought it was kind of cheesy and funny. So if you guys remember back in the day, NXT during the black and gold days, right? They would have like the lower third, like the copyright, the trademark thing on the bottom. And then they would do something after that to fuck with people. Like, oh, you thought it was over? Not yet. Watch this. Like they did it with Drew McIntyre, right? When he won the NXT championship from Bobby Roode. And then the Undisputed Era debuted. Remember that? Or when Tommaso Ciampa attacked Johnny Gargano. Remember that? After TakeOver Chicago, I think it was number 2. Yeah, it was part 2, where he attacked Gargano. Remember that? Or when in NXT TakeOver UK, when the Undisputed Era invaded and they attacked Imperium. I remember that. That's what they were trying to do here, right? So they had like the lower third and the bottom, Ospreay's in the ring. Because again, Ospreay's leaving. Ospreay's going away for surgery, right? And then they proceed to attack him, the Death Riders. They Pillmanize him, right? They put they put a chair over his neck and they stomped on him and they proceed to beat him up, right? Mind you, this cage, the cage itself, it's a small cage that surrounded the entire ring, right? It was like the half of a Hell in a Cell with no roof on top. So easily, again, your Omegas, your Tanahashis, barely, if you will, your Darbys of the world, they all could have climbed this cage and do some shit to make the save, but for whatever reason, they couldn't climb this small ass cage. And they proceed to beat up on Will Ospreay. And then the cage finally goes up and they're checking on him, right? And you see Omega just cursing at somebody. And that's how they close the show. Off the air. That was Forbidden Door. Again, I didn't hate the show. I know it may seem like I did and all that stuff, but in reality, I didn't. It just, to me, it doesn't feel like Forbidden Door anymore. It doesn't. It feels like, well, we just have to do a show because fuck, we have to do a show. Like, is it really Forbidden Door when you have some CMLL guys from time to time show up on AEW television? Is it really Forbidden Door when you have AEW talent showing up at New Japan shows and CMLL shows? Also, one more thing. Also, I didn't mention this. So during the during the Swerve and Okada match, after the match was over with, right? You had everyone just celebrating there at ringside, right? From the Don Callis family. And who walks out? Konosuke Takeshita. You know, the guy who should have been on the show, the guy who won the G1, but yeah, he's not on the show. He's not wrestling on the show for whatever reason. So fucking stupid. Likely, the scenario will be him that being Takeshita versus Okada. Hopefully, Full Gear, but we'll see. But overall, look, I didn't hate the show. I know I may seem like I'm harsh on the show, but just that, look, I've been to the first Forbidden Door. I've been to that first Forbidden Door, so I know what Forbidden Door was. And granted, 2023 wasn't bad either. Like, you had Bryan and Okada, right? But as the years gone on, it just hasn't felt the same, you know? At this point, I think they should just stop doing this Forbidden Door stuff. Stop it. Granted, they were in the UK, so they ate this up because, of course, they enjoy everything, right? If you're in the UK, this past week, bro, you had Forbidden. You had that Rev Pro show in the UK. You had Forbidden Door. Hell, you had the Raw in Birmingham. You ate good this past weekend. You ate good. So you can't complain. But let me know your thoughts in the chat or in the comments, whenever it is. I know this is late. I normally do this, after the shows are over, but being that I was in Europe, I was in Portugal, I was in Spain, I did not get to watch the show live like everyone else. But here I am, got this out of the way. Thank y'all for watching. Much love to all of you. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. We go back to the regular programming this Monday. Monday, I will be most likely, obviously, of course I have to. What the fuck? What am I talking about here? Monday, I will be recapping Clash in Paris because it's on Sunday, by the way. So, and I'll also give my thoughts on some stuff that I missed. I'll give my thoughts on the whole Raja Jackson and Psycho Stu incident that took place while I was in Europe. I'll talk about that and some other stuff as well. Okay. So thank you all for tuning in. Those of you who watch, normally I don't do these shows this early in the morning. Normally I do them in the afternoon, but being that I got stuff to do in a couple of hours. So getting this out of the way now. Thank you all for watching. Much love to all of you. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Follow the Around the Point Network follow the Around the Point Network on X at AT.Network. Follow me on X at Heel Steven. Thank y'all for watching. Much love to all of you. And yeah, this was my late, honest review of AEW in New Japan Forbidden Door London 2025 review here on the Around the Point Network. Peace out, y'all. But I'll wrap up with this one for one last time.
Oh, wow, that's a fitting name for all the virgins out there, the Forbidden Door, because that's the one thing they'll never see.
Well,
Thank you.